Welcome back, my dear students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, up to this time we have read mouth, mouth cavity, parts of mouth cavity, pharynx, esophagus and stomach. आज क्या हम पढ़ेंगे? Today we shall take other component of this alimentary canal, that is called small intestine. Small intestine and large intestine. Yes. Shabash. Small intestine. Small intestine. Small intestine is also called as small bowel. Shabash. Shabash. NEET wale. आगे बढ़ो NEET wale. Shabash. It is also called as small bowel. Small intestine. It is 6 meters long coiled tube. Small intestine is 6 meters long coiled tube. Coiled tube. Yes. Now first we draw the diagram of the small intestine. You can also draw the diagram of small intestine. Yes. Shabash. This is a diagram of our intestines, small intestine and large intestine. Shabash. Small intestine has 3 parts. Small intestine has 3 parts. Human small intestine have 3 parts. Number first, duodenum. Duodenum. Number second, jejunum. And number next is ileum. Let us take these one by one. First, duodenum. Duodenum. Shabash, what is duodenum? Duodenum is the first part of small intestine. Duodenum. It is the first part of small intestine. First part of small intestine. It is 25 centimeters long. Okay. It is the narrow part of small intestine. Narrow part. Okay. This duodenum. Very important duct, that is called hepatopancreatic duct. Hepatopancreatic duct opens into it. We will study it later on. Hepato means liver. One duct comes from liver, another duct comes from pancreas. They join together and they form hepatopancreatic duct. That hepatopancreatic duct opens into what? Into duodenum. Yes. Hepatopancreatic duct opens into it. Hepatopancreatic duct opens into it. Shabash. So this is the first part of what? Small intestine. It is C. It is C or U-shaped. It is C or U-shaped. It is C or U-shaped. This duodenum. Okay. It is 25 centimeters long. It is the narrow part of small intestine. Hepatopancreatic duct opens into what? Into duodenum. Yes. This is first part. अब जो दूसरा पार्ट है वो है jejunum. 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 It is the middle part of small intestine. Middle part. It is the middle part of small intestine. This jejunum. It is the middle part of small intestine. It is 2.4 meters long and it is coiled. It is coiled. It is coiled part. It is 2.4 meters long tube. Okay. Yes. It is thick and vascular. Shabash. It is thick and vascular. It is thick and vascular. Jejunum. It is thick and vascular. Shabash. What does this mean? Vascular. Vascular means having rich blood capillaries. Having rich blood capillaries. So jejunum is the middle part of small intestine. It is 2.4 meters long tube. It is coiled. It is thick and vascular. Vascular means having rich blood capillaries. Okay. So this is the second part. शाबाश. अब जो तीसरा पार्ट है वो है इलियम. शाबाश. इलियम. It is the posterior part. It is the posterior part of small intestine. First part is duodenum, second part is jejunum, and third part is ileum. Okay. It is much coiled. It is much coiled part. Highly coiled part. This ileum. Okay. It is 3.6 meters long. It is 3.6 meters long. Okay. Jejunum is 2.4 meters long. It is 3.6 meters long too. It is much coiled. Yes. It is thin and vascular. It is thin and vascular. Vascular means it also possesses rich blood capillaries. This is ileum. Shabash. This is ileum. Okay. Now, the important, you might have heard that, the important finger-like projections present on the wall of some small intestine, they are called, shabash, bolo. There are finger-like projections which are present on the wall of small intestine, particularly ileum and jejunum. They are called villi. Shabash, villi. These are finger-like projections. Finger-like projections present on the wall of small intestine. These are finger-like projections present on the wall of small intestine. They are called villi. Okay. Like this. These are called villi. So what is the structure of this villus? Shabash. Suppose if we draw the diagram of villus here, suppose this is one villus. Each villus is lined by epithelium. This epithelium. Each villus contains blood capillaries. Each villus contains blood capillaries and lymph capillaries. Shall I try to understand? Lymph capillaries and blood capillaries also present in villi. Okay. These are lymph capillaries, or we can say lymph vessels. This is the structure of villus. So each villus is lined by epithelium. Each villus is lined by epithelium. Okay. It contains blood capillaries, blood capillaries and lymph capillaries. Each villus contains blood capillaries and lymph capillaries. When the capillaries join together, lymph capillaries join together, they form lymph vessel. Shabash. Very important point. NEET वालों के लिए. What is the name of that lymph vessel present in small intestine? Shabash. Shabash, bolo. Name the lymph vessel present in small intestine. That lymph vessel is called rectal. Rectal is the lymph vessel of small intestine. Lymph vessel of small intestine. Okay. Shabash. Each villus, it is lined by epithelium. These are epithelial cells. Okay. These are lymph capillaries and these are blood capillaries, these are lymph capillaries. When the lymph capillaries join together, they form lymph vessels. And the lymph vessels of the small intestine are called rectals. Rectal. ये याद रखना चाहिए बेटा. Rectal. Very important point. Okay. Now villi are divided into certain smaller folders. They are called microvilli. Smaller folders. They are called microvilli. And this small intestine also possesses another fold that is called pilica circularis. Circular folds are also present in small intestine. Small intestine also possess circular folds called pilica circularis. These are smaller folds present in small intestine towards the lumen of small intestine. Okay. Now, what are the functions of these villi, microvilli, pilica circularis? All these are folds. What are their functions, Shabash? Their function is to increase surface area for the absorption of digested food. That is why 90% absorption occurs in small intestine. Why so? Why 90% absorption occurs in small intestine? What is the reason behind it? Because there are these folds, villi, microvilli and pilica circularis. Okay. Shabash, try to remember it. All these folds increase surface area for the absorption of digested food. All these folds increase surface area for the absorption of digested food. Yes. Shabash. Another important component is also associated with the small intestine, that is called Peyer's patches. These are white lymphoid patches. These are white lymphoid patches present in the wall of small intestine. Okay, these are called Peyer's patches. They are lymphoid. What does this mean, Shabash? Lymphoid means they contain lymphocytes. Lymphocytes produce antibodies. Antibodies kill microorganisms and protect us from infection. Okay. Yes. Peyer's patches. They are lymphoid. That is contain lymphocytes which form antibodies. Antibodies are proteins formed by these lymphocytes that kill microbes. microbes and protect us from infection. Okay. Shabash. Pierce patches, they are lymphoid structures. They contain lymphocytes. Lymphocytes form antibodies. Antibodies are special proteins. They kill microorganisms and protect us from infection. Okay. So this is the structure of small intestine. So what are the functions? What are the functions of small intestine, Shabash? Number first, they help in small intestines. They help in digestion of food. They help in digestion. How they digest food, that part we will study later on when we take up these digestive glands. The next, they help in absorption of digested food. Okay. Number next, they produce some hormones. They produce hormones like CCK, secretin, These are some important hormones which are produced from the small intestine, like CCK, secretin, devocrinin, enterocrinin, etc. These are some important hormones which are produced from small intestine. Okay. CCK, cholecystokinin, secretin, devocrinin, enterocrinin, other hormones. That part we shall take later on. Okay. So this is all about small intestine. Sometimes the examination of small intestine is carried out by a special process that is called endoscopy. You might have heard endoscopy. Shabash. वो क्या है? Endoscopy क्या है? Shabash. Endoscopy means the examination of small intestine. Endoscopy. Examination of small intestine. Examination of small intestine is called endoscopy. Okay. Yes. Now, so this is all about small intestine. Now, what is large intestine? Large intestine. Shabash. What is large intestine? Shabash. Large intestine is also called as large bowel. Large bowel. Okay. Large bowel. It is 1.5 meters long. It is 1.5 meters long tube. Large intestine. Shabash. Large intestine is only 1.5 meters long. Okay. Then why it is called as large intestine? It is called as large intestine because it is wider than small intestine. So no doubt small intestine is 6 meters long. Large intestine is only 1.5 meters long, but it is wider than small intestine. But wider than small intestine. It is wider than small intestine. That is why it is called a large intestine. Okay. Now what are the parts of large intestine? Large intestine also possesses 3 parts. It has 3 parts. Number first is cecum. Cecum. This is cecum. Shabash. Cecum. It is a pouch-like structure. It is 6 centimeters long. It is pouch-like structure, 6 centimeters long. Okay, cecum. And it is a blind tube. Blind tube means it is one end is closer. That is called a blind tube. It contains, Shabash, as I told you already, it contains symbiotic bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria. Such bacteria which benefit for human body and also for themselves. They are called symbiotic bacteria. Okay. Yes. Shabash. This cecum is well developed. It is well developed in herbivorous mammals. Herbivorous mammals. It is well developed in herbivorous mammals like rabbit, horse. Okay. Cecum. Shabash. So when digested food, when food gets digested in small intestine, okay, as you know, digestion is completed in the small intestine. So digested food then gets absorbed into blood. Then there remains undigested food. This undigested food enters into cecum and then into this colon. But this undigested food does not go back. It does not go back from large intestine to small intestine. Why not? Why not? Shabash. When undigested food enters from small intestine into large intestine, suppose this colon, and it is not in a position to go back. Why not? Because it is prevented by a valve. Okay. There is an important valve. शाबाश नीट वाले याद रखो नीट वालों के लिए जरूरी है there is an important valve that is called ileocecal valve. Ileocecal valve is over there which prevents backflow of undigested food. Yes. Shabash. It is provided with ileocecal valve which prevents backflow of undigested food. Backflow of undigested food. It prevents backflow of undigested food. Undigested food is not in a position to go back to small intestine. Okay. It is prevented by ileocecal. What does this mean? Ileocecal. Ileo means ileum. Cecal means cecum. It is present at the junction. That is why it is called ileocecal valve. It prevents this backflow of undigested food. This is first part. Second part is colon. Colon is the main part of large intestine. Colon. Suppose this is colon. This is colon. Colon is the main part of large intestine. Colon. Shabash. It has 4 regions. Colon has 4 regions. Number first, ascending colon. Number next, transverse colon. Number next, descending colon. Number next, sigmoid colon. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and sigmoid colon. Okay, these are the 4 parts of this colon. This is ascending colon. This is transverse colon. Transverse colon. This is descending colon. And this one is sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon. Okay. Ascending colon, go undigested food ascends here. It moves through this ascending colon. It ascends here. Then this is transverse colon. Then the undigested food descends here. This is called a descending colon. Its wall is thin. Its wall is thick. Descending colon. And finally it reaches to sigmoid colon. Sigmoid colon, it is S-shaped colon. Narrow colon. Narrow. This sigmoid colon. These are the 4 regions of what? Colon. Colon is the main part of large intestine. Okay. So next and last part, that is called rectum. Rectum. It is the posterior part. It is the posterior part of large intestine. Or we can say it is the posterior part of whole alimentary canal. Posterior part. Okay. This is called rectum. Okay. It leads into anal canal. It leads into anal canal, which opens into anus. Which opens into anus. Rectum leads into anal canal, and anal canal opens into anus. Okay. This anus has two sphincters, internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter. Anus has two sphincters, internal anal sphincter, shabash, and external anal sphincter. Anus has two sphincters, internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter. Okay. So what is the function of this rectum? It stores rectum. Rectum stores fecal matter temporarily. Rectum stores fecal matter temporarily. Okay. Shabash. So these are the parts of what? Large intestine. Sometimes you might have seen that one of the important disease which is associated with this rectum. Okay. That is called a pilus. You might have heard about pilus. Pilus, shabash. So what is pilus? Pilus means inflammation of rectal venous. Inflammation of rectal venous is called pilus. Pilus is the inflammation, means swelling of rectal venous. How inflammation of rectal venous occurs? How? Yes, it is caused due to repeated constipation. Those who are suffering from repeated constipation, they will get pilus. Okay. It is caused due to repeated constipation. That is why when there is repeated constipation, okay, then this inflammation of rectal venous occurs. When the rectal venous get inflamed, get swelled, then they rupture. Rectal venous, they rupture and cause bleeding. Bleeding occurs. In this pilus, bleeding occurs. Okay. So these are the parts of what? Large intestine. So finally, functions of large intestine. Functions. Yes, before this, another component is over here. That is called appendix. 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 Shabash. Shabash beta, ये क्या है? Appendix. Shabash. Appendix. Appendix is a blind tube. Blind tube about 8 to 10 centimeters long. Blind tube. Blind tube means it is one side is closed. This side is closed and this side is open. This is called blind tube. It is blind tube. Okay. Shabash. This appendix is also called as vermiform appendix. Vermiform. Why it is called vermiform? Shabash. Why it is called vermiform? Because it is just like a worm. Just like a worm. Just like a worm. Like earthworm. It is just like a earth, just like earthworm. That is why it is called vermiform appendix. And this appendix, you know, it is vestigial in modern man. In modern man, it is non-functional, means vestigial. It is vestigial. Vestigial in modern man. It is vestigial in modern man. In ancestors, it was functional. It was functional in our ancestors because it produces, it possesses some bacteria. Such bacteria, they produce enzymes like cellulase, and cellulase enzyme digests cellulose. So it was functional in our ancestors. As our ancestors, they feed on plant fibers. Okay, so they have the need of this cellulose digestion. So bacteria are present in appendix. Bacteria, they produce enzymes like cellulase. Cellulase digests cellulose. Okay. But in modern man, such bacteria are absent. Cellulase secretion stops, and modern man is not in a position to digest cellulose. Cellulose is a very important component of cell wall of plant cells. Okay, so it is vestigial in modern man. Sometimes infection occurs in this appendix. Okay, and it leads into a disease that is called appendicitis. Appendicitis. What is appendicitis? Inflammation of appendix. Inflammation of appendix is called appendicitis due to infection. Inflammation of appendix due to infection is called appendicitis. Okay, and in that case, sometimes it is this appendix is removed by surgery. Okay, that process is called appendectomy. Appendectomy means surgical removal of appendix. Okay, surgical removal of appendix is called appendectomy. Surgical removal of appendix is called appendectomy. Okay. Yes. So this is all about large intestine. The finally functions of large intestine. What is the function of large intestine? They help in digestion. Digestion means removal of undigested food. Okay, large intestine help us in digestion, means elimination of undigested food from the alimentary canal is called digestion. It helps us in absorption of water. Absorption of water also occurs in large intestine. Okay. Number next, it produces mucus. Mucus is the thick secretion that is also produced in large intestine. Okay. As I told you, just symbiotic bacteria are over there, like E. coli. They produce vitamin B and K, vitamin B12 and K. And that vitamin B12 and K is utilized by human body there. And what is the benefit of such bacteria? These bacteria also get nourishment from our body and also protection from our body. That is why these are called symbiotic bacteria. Okay. Vitamin B12 and K is synthesized by colon bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria. Okay. So these are the functions of large intestine, like they help in digestion, they help in absorption of water, they produce mucus. Mucus is the thick secretion which lubricates this alimentary canal. Vitamin B12 and K are the two vitamins which are also synthesized in our body, but these are not synthesized by our body, by human body. These are synthesized by bacteria like E. coli. Okay, Escherichia coli. These bacteria are present in colon. Okay, or we can say large intestine, and these vitamins are then utilized by human body, and in return bacteria also get benefit, that is nourishment and protection. Okay, that is why they are called symbiotic bacteria. Okay, so this is all about small intestine and large intestine. शाबाश, अब हम एक क्वेश्चन जो है जो नीट में आया वो हम करेंगे रिगार्डिंग दिस स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन। क्वेश्चन क्या था? द मिडल पार्ट, वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन, द मिडल पार्ट ऑफ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन, the middle part of small intestine is called A part duodenum, B part ileum, C part jejunum, D part none of them. What is the small part? What is the middle part of small intestine? Very simple, very simple. आसान क्वेश्चन था, हाँ बिल्कुल अनएक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन था. It was very easy. Shabash. As I told you just, this duodenum is the first part of small intestine. Jejunum is the second or middle part of small intestine. Ileum is the third part of small intestine. Okay, so what is the correct response? What is the correct answer? Shabash, shabash. So correct response is jejunum. Jejunum. Jejunum is the middle part of small intestine. ये क्वेश्चन भी नीट में आया. It was very easy, very easy. So with this we have concluded elementary canal, and from tomorrow we will move towards digestive glands. Okay. So tomorrow you prepare yourself for salivary glands, gastric glands. Okay. You prepare yourself for salivary glands and gastric glands tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.